Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and we are here for Xur. It is March 31st, and this is probably the last Xur video I'm going to do for a couple of weeks since I'm going to be out of town. So, there are plenty of other Xur creators, but I will at least get you guys this one. Lots of videos coming from me while I'm out of town though, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. So, first thing, the exotic weapon. This is a must-own. If you do not own Trinity Ghoul, whether you're a new player, somehow missed it, just don't own it. It's amazing when you get the Catalyst engaged, because what it does is it becomes one of the best ad clearing weapons that you can honestly have, especially if you're dealing with anything arc shield related, arc enemies, but just the way you when this thing goes off, Lightning Rod now triggers from any arc damage final blow, so the lightning can actually basically reproc Lightning Rod, and you can just shoot the spread of lightning that comes down and kills everything. It is still one of my favorites when I use it. I just tend not to try and use exotics that often, but believe me, if you don't own this, it is a must-own, and the Catalyst makes it probably one of my favorite bows to use. It's pretty fantastic. Layman Arc's great. This thing definitely holds its own, just in a different situation. For your weapons, we've got True Prophecy with Explosive Payload and Overflow. Could be a decent roll. It's a 120, so I don't think it's going to be a PvE God tier roll or anything like that, but hand cannons are about to get a 20% PvE buff, so, you know, maybe if you don't have a great hand cannon you love, see if this one works for you. Cold Denial. This is a high impact pulse, but you've got armor piercing rounds, you've got basically max range, Zen Moment, and Swashbuckler, so if you get that second kill. So for a high impact pulse rifle in PvP with basically max range, and Zen Moment does some great things now. Shout out to Cool Guy. If you haven't seen his video on it, basically kind of makes it really, really stable. If you like high impact pulses, this could be actually a fun one to use. Tears of Contrition, while it looks cool, this roll is basically not doing too much for me. Well-rounded and Vorpal, there's just many better options. I think this isn't doing anything special. Ignition Code, nice to see it hanging around, but between Surplus and One for All, not really any exciting perks that we've got going on here. 7th Seraph CQC, it is a lightweight frame, so you move a little faster, auto-loading holster, snapshot sights, you've got some range, and corkscrew rifling. It's an okay roll, but I think there's probably going to be better, you know, like God roll shotguns for PvE or PvP, honestly. Now, if you do not own a linear fusion rifle that is solar, you should, just because always helps to have one of each type. There's not a lot of solar ones out there, and this is the only one really I think that doesn't come from a raid, because the new 3 burst, that's a raid. The old single burst was from Vow, which is a raid, and this one's actually got Outlaw Kill Clip. You've got extended magazine, which can help, or accelerated coils if you want a little faster charge time. And you can get some fast charge time out of this one with some nice stability. So if you're looking for a solar linear fusion rifle and you just don't have anything that hits that, you might want to add this one to your vault because it's a pretty solid roll. Now I'm going to just do this right now. All 3 of the class swords, they're bad. So no class has a sword that's worth buying this week. Quick Fang or the other 2, because you got Crown Splitter for the Titan, and I forget the Warlock one. None of them have anything amazing. I think 2 of them have Thresh, so you can skip them. All right, now we're going to go through the classes one at a time. First with the Titan. The armor is basically all bad. Too much mobility if there is a decent amount of resilience, and then if the stats aren't already trash, which they basically are, the resilience is pretty much too low for me to care about, or too much intellect. So nothing great for the Titan there. And the one-eyed mask on top of that. While it's a 66 and you got some mobility, not my favorite roll here. It's like, it's a 66, but again, 19 mobility on a Titan, unless you're just really into a speed build for a Titan, which maybe you are with one-eyed mask, so I can see that a little bit. So mobility and strength might be a run and gun shotgun build, but outside of that, this is not a roll that I personally like, but I could probably see somebody finding a use for it. It's just not one I would say is a must-buy. For the Warlock, we've got 3 legendary pieces of armor that are in the 50s, so that's, again, not fun. The 63 has 2 in recovery. Now, if your recovery is handled in all your other slots, it does give you a little mobility, nice chunk of resilience, discipline, and strength for you know, energy ability recharges. That's an okay roll if you find a use for it, but the 2 in recovery, I think for a Warlock might hurt some people, but if you're going for resilience and mobility for just maybe some PvP movement, that might be an okay setup. As for the exotic, we've got Apotheosis Veil with a 65. It is based around your super, and it has 18 recovery and 20 intellect. If you're ever going to look for an Apotheosis Veil, not an exotic I really love because you get health, melee, grenade, and rift energy when you activate your super, so I kind of always hate waiting around for my super for my exotic to do anything. That being said, can't ask for a much better roll than this one for what you've got here. So if you don't own this one, you can do much, much worse, so you may as well add this to your vault. Finally, for the Hunter, again, you got a couple in the 50s here. You've got one for the helmet, which is going to be a 64, some mobility, more resilience, more recovery, discipline, intellect, strength. If you're a newer player especially, I could see you finding some use to help just boost your stats up in general for probably more PvP on this one with the higher recovery. But again, not a bad roll to help you out with some stats. The 62, while it is 25 in resilience, if you're really struggling for resilience as a Hunter, this could help you. So it's okay, but again, it's a 62. It's mostly just the spike in resilience you might pay attention to. As for the Gwaizen Vest, it is a 64. Got some mobility, got some resilience, got some intellect, and some strength. And it's based around Spectral Blades. Each Spectral Blades kill you make before going into stealth will restore more of your super energy. So you've got some intellect to help with your super. Strength, not a bad thing. Recovery is a little low, but mobility and resilience, if you're going to go for a PvE kind of build or resilience build, this is one you might want to pick up because a 64 with mobility for a Hunter, resilience for that, damage, a little low on the recovery, but all in all, pretty solid exotic there for a Hunter as well. Final thing I want to point out this weekend is increased Trials rank. And basically, anytime you are playing through Trials of Osiris, you're going to be able to get bonus reputation, which is going to get you more engrams, which is going to get you more loot from Saint 14. If you're still looking for an immortal, doesn't mean it's not broken, but is a Strand SMG. SMGs are still in a very good spot, so it's worth going after. And then this weekend you have the Whistler's Whim, which is the bow, which will be your adept weapon. But honestly, increased Trials rank, if you are going to play, I played it without freelance, and I never faced a 3-stack. It's a good way to get, a couple pinnacles, spend some time in there. It's worth it, guys. There's some stuff in here that is worth the grind. So spend a little time in Trials this weekend. Enjoy the bonus rank as well. That one will serve you very well. But that's about all I've got for today. I will be putting up a video tomorrow, just a gun that is being sold right now that you probably shouldn't miss. I'll get you guys that one tomorrow morning. I am still continuing the campaign run through on my Hunter, so it's like a guide for basically even a newbie player to be able to get through the legendary campaign on Lightfall. Other than that, stay tuned, more stuff to come. So if you enjoy my content, drop a like below, leave a comment if there's maybe something here that I should have shouted out that I did not. And for all of you guys, if you want to find me on Twitch or Twitter, it's Ebontis. But right here on YouTube, if you're new especially, or just enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. We are getting close to 100K, so thank you guys for all the support. I'll see you soon.